I recently asked myself, what made One Piece fan letter so special? So, I'm making a 3-part video series where I analyze the art style, which we already covered in the last video, the storyboarding, and the animation of this special episode. In case you're new here, I'm Artistic Ape, a self-taught artist, animator, and a huge One Piece fan. And I've come to the point that I watch the fan letter episode that often that I even found one single frame with a mistake in it. Anyway, let's get right into it. When it comes to the perspective, the camera angle is always perfectly chosen. Close-ups for expressions, medium shots for character acting, full body shots for choreographies, and wide shots for the scenery and to know where the characters currently are. There are also some extreme close-ups, which are used for either strong expressions or to hide something from the viewer. Like for example, just showing the shoes or the mouth of someone. This is used to create tension in the scene because the viewer doesn't really know what's going on because you only see a small part of a character. Something that is very noticeable in fan letter though is that the perspective always shows who's in power. This happens a total of 5 times in the episode. The camera is looking up to the stronger one, and the weak are shown with the camera looking down on them. They also tend to lie on the ground a lot, which emphasizes this even more. What's also used a lot in fan letter is the POV shot. A POV shot, short for point of view, is a shot where you see the same thing as the character is seeing. So you're seeing the world from their perspective. This can make you relate to the characters more, and is also just a really cool effect to have. It's even more enhanced when you include, for example, the blinking of the eye, or a blurry effect in the POV to imitate the eye when tearing up. When it comes to composition, of course, the basics like the rule of thirds is pretty much always used, which is common in every storyboard. The scenes also have a very symmetrical and straight composition when things are calm and structured. But when a scene is chaotic, the camera is usually tilted to show the unbalanced and uncontrolled feeling. Foreground elements are also pretty important. These give the scenes way more depth and can also be used to lay the focus on something. They can kind of be used like a frame to guide the viewer's eye to a focal point. Values are probably the most important thing to make your elements in a scene pop out and therefore easily readable. We can see that fan letter doesn't use that much shading, but when it is used, then very dramatic to really make the characters pop. Megumi Ishiatani sometimes even colors her own storyboards, usually in scenes with very dramatic lighting, like these orange light rays contrasted by the blue sky. The shading is also used to tell the story. On the way to the ship, she gets pushed into the shadow by this one guy. When the girl almost gets to the ship, she enters the light, but then suddenly she gets stopped by the same guy again. He then drags her back into the shadow, and she tries to get out, but can't really do anything. Later, all the people show up to help her. Then finally, she gets out of the shadow and back into the light. So the shading also supports the mood of the scene. If I had to choose one thing that makes One Piece fan letter storyboarding so good, then I would say it's the transitions. The episode has all these multiple story arcs and characters, which all end up getting involved in the same story. All of that in just 20 minutes. But this only works because of the transitions. Almost every scene from one switch to the other has a fluid transition. Here are some examples. This guy is glazing Chopper like crazy. Then it switches to Chopper in the store. Chopper goes away, and we see more of the character that keeps the store owner. This way the story transitions from the Marines to the store. There's also the thing called a jump cut. This happens when 2 compositions stay the same, but something changes. Like the flashback of the Marine soldier. The composition stays, but the cut changes, and we see him getting younger and younger by cut. One of my favorite examples of a jump cut from the anime is in episode 1015, which was also directed by Megumi Ishiatani. Just peak. Another type of transition I noticed is that megumi ishiatani often uses things in front of something, then moving it away and revealing something else. This way she transitions the focus from one thing to another. For example, this scene, we see these two running around, but then someone else appears in the foreground, which again makes our focus switch to the other character. Of course, there are many different and creative transitions used in that episode. I can't count them all, but these are the most noticeable I found. So yeah, I think the transitions is what ties everything together and makes fan letter really special. This is probably more on the story writing part, but the episode has a crazy amount of callbacks. In the end, all the subplots flow into each other, helping the girl get free. The bounty posters from the fans spread all over the place. The Soul King magazine falls on top of someone's head, and all the characters burst in, which makes the girl get free. All these little tiny details that were built up throughout the whole episode come back in the end, which, even though it was just a 20-minute episode, makes it feel like you just watched a whole movie. Now, if you want to see how the art style works, check out the first video I made. And if you want to know more about the animation, subscribe to the channel, because this will be in my next video. And also consider liking. Or, you know what, don't consider it, just do it. That was all for today. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys in the next video.